Okay, so I've only seen one or two ish videos about this game. Apparently, it's pretty hit and miss, depending on what it is, because it is AI kind of not generated, but like prompt to game. Very heavy AI elements with it, which a lot of people seem to. My mouse dislike for some reason. I don't get it personally, but oh, why did this get bigger? Hold on. I don't know, the thing's being weird. Oh, okay, that works, I guess. Okay. Anyway, it's Whispers Among the Stars, AI generated space waifu interaction thing. And I thought, as the benevolent skill of God I am, why not quit this thing until it breaks? Or maybe I'll be actually helpful, who knows? You know me, it's either insanely helpful or insanely trollish. No in between. Let's see what happens.
Okay, now to see if anyone picks up the signal. Oh, thank goodness I got through. I'm Stella. Who am I talking to?
Huh, that ain't working. Hold on. Why aren't you? Oh, there it goes. And now it's capturing it, I guess. Technical difficulties fixed. What do I go by? Well, seeing as I'm using my little VR avatar-ish thing, I'll go by my Undertale character's OC name. Bleh. Hello, Stella. I am WD Caster.
Nice to meet you, Dabudi. I really wasn't sure if anyone would pick up my signal. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how you're receiving this. What kind of setup do you have that can catch a distress call all the way from Gaia?
Oh, I'm a god. And you can call me Caster.
A god, huh? I'm not sure I buy that, but I appreciate the confidence. Top secret, I see. Seriously, though, how are you picking up my signal? It's pretty surprising someone's even in range.
No, I meant that literally. I'm literally a god. And I can see the future. Kind of.
Right. Well, even if you do see the future, I'm still stuck here in the present, literally. My life pod took some damage during landing, and now I'm having trouble getting out. Do you think you could help me figure out a way to get this hatch open?
Well, I know you have a hand drill, and I know you have some repair tools. And I'm probably going to freak you out by saying this. The crash was not your fault.
Thanks for saying that. It actually means a lot, even if I'm not sure what to make of the god thing. The drill and tools are definitely here. What were you thinking we could use them for? There's got to be a way to get this hatch moving again.
Well, depending on the type of hatch it is, you could either use the repair tools to fix the wiring, or you could use the drill to destroy the hydraulics and push it open.
The wiring might be more promising. If I mess with the hydraulics wrong, I could end up making things worse, or even dangerous. Let me take a closer look at the hatch's control panel. There might be some clues there about what's going on with the wiring.
Okay. Also, as much as this planet looks like Earth and is named Gaia, which is another word for Earth, there are some freaky monsters there, and they will kill you.
Freaky monsters? I hadn't heard anything about that. The data we had said Gaia's wildlife was mostly similar to Earth's, with no known dangerous species. But I appreciate the warning. For now, though, I need to focus on getting out of this pod. The hatch is still my biggest problem.
Well, the hatch should be easily fixable, depending on what the issue is. The real issue is the spatial anomaly that's about to suck in the big warp ring that you use to interstellar travel. But that's for much later. You'll get a notification about that in a while. There's also a cave that makes people crazy.
Spatial anomalies and warp rings? That's way beyond my current scope. I need to survive this landing first. And a cave that makes people crazy? That sounds unsettling. But one problem at a time, this hatch is still my priority. Any other ideas for how I can get it open with what I have?
Check the bunk. There's probably a crowbar. That could be your backup plan if the wiring is unfixable.
Let me check the bunk area real quick. There's no crowbar, just some emergency supplies and a first aid kit. Nothing that looks like it could force the hatch open. The wiring still seems like our best bet. Do you want me to start tracing the circuits to see where things might be going wrong?
Yeah, try that. Also, make sure you're grounded and well insulated so you don't get electrocuted. I'd rather not kill you in the opening scene.
Got it. I'll be careful. The pod's got some built-in insulation, but I'll keep an eye out for any exposed wires. The wiring's pretty complex. There are a few different circuits here. Do you think we should focus on the ones connected directly to the hatch mechanism, or try to trace everything back to the main power source?
Start with the hatch control and then work your way back to the power source, looking for any loose or exposed wiring. Then make sure none of the wirings are touching that are exposed, so basically to make sure that nothing is arcing. I'm being way too helpful.
Alright, I'm going to give that a shot. Thanks for walking me through this,
Did I just
Castor.
get an achievement?
I really appreciate your help.
Did I just get an achievement?
I'm going to focus on getting this wiring sorted out. I'll contact you once I'm out of the pod.
I swear I just got an achievement. I didn't see it pop up though. That's weird. I heard the achievement noise, but I didn't see a pop-up. That's unusual. I wonder how long you have to wait. Oh, that wasn't... Okay, then. Nice. Okay. Probably was too helpful, but, whatever. That's me. Benevolent.
I'm alive!
And for now.
I honestly thought I was done for.
Looks like a sand space pod.
And this is Gaia. It is so surreal that I am standing here.
Looks more like New Zealand.
It's wild.
Yeah.
No. The others... There was this solar storm, and it was just so much worse than we expected.
Yeah, I know. Solar storm, you tried to get closer to get a readout, and then all shit went to hell.
That's about right. We were trying to get a better reading on the solar flare patterns, but I don't know. Something just snapped. The equipment, the ship, everything went haywire. I don't really get what happened, to be honest. It all escalated so fast. Do you think you could tell me a bit about what you were doing when you got my signal? Just trying to piece things together here.
I was talking with the god of youth, and
The god of youth? Okay, that's definitely not something I was expecting. Did you mean that literally, or is that just a story you were telling someone? It's just, right now, I really need to focus on what's real. I'm still trying to wrap my head around being stranded here.
I mean, you're not technically stranded. There's a escape rocket, but that's way off. And I mean that literally. I am the god of life and death. I actually look like a skeleton most of the time.
A skeleton? That's quite an image. I'm not sure what to make of that, but I appreciate the honesty. An escape rocket, though, that sounds important. Do you know where it is? Or if it's even accessible to me right now?
I don't think it's accessible to you right now. It's about a 3-day journey, but I'm not sure the actual direction. Unfortunately, I'm not omnipotent or omnipresent. I'm not the Judeo-Christian God, unfortunately for you.
"3 days is a long way, especially if I'm not even sure which direction to go. And with everything that's happened, I'm not exactly in top shape for a marathon hike. It's just feeling really lost right now. Have you ever been in a situation where you had no idea what to do next?
Kinda. I mean, most of the time I'm making or breaking universes. Being a god of creation, life, death, and destruction. I have a lot of jobs. I'm into character right now.
That's a lot. I can barely keep up with my own schedule, let alone manage the fate of entire universes. But I guess that means you're used to making tough calls, right? Even if it's not exactly the same as being stranded on an alien planet.
I mean, they're not wrong. How about a quick off-topic question to help you kind of relax a little bit? You seem a bit stressed. So, as an astronaut, and I've heard this rumor a lot, do you actually wear diapers? Because from what I heard, a lot of astronauts wear special NASA brand diapers that hold up to 12 hours of stuff.
No, thankfully not. That's just one of those weird myths that never dies. We have normal bathrooms on the ships, and for spacewalks, there are these fancy undergarments that are basically high-tech adult diapers, but they're not exactly something you'd wear to a dinner party. It's
What?
actually kind
What
of
the
funny
hell?
you'd ask that. It's
Why is
nice
this
to
not
think
working?
about something a little silly for a second, you know? Helps
Okay.
take my mind
that's
off things.
weird. Why isn't this working? Why did the screen... fucking... Hold on. Of course, the thing doesn't want to... Son of a bitch. Is it this one? No. Yeah. Is it this one? Oh, there it goes. Why did that cut out like that? How dare you? Sorry for making you guys see a black screen for whatever. So, yes and no is the answer to that then.
I guess you could say that. It's not like it's something we advertise on our business cards, but yeah, it's out there when we need it. So, what about you? When you're not busy being a god, what do you like to do? Anything that helps you unwind?
I make YouTube videos. Well, internet videos.
That's really cool. What kind of videos do you make? I've always been fascinated by creators who can just build an audience out of thin air. Though, I have to say, I'm a little curious. Do you wear a skeleton costume while filming, or is that just for special occasions?
That's actually a good question. That's actually a very good question. No, there was no costume. At least, it's just all me. Skeleton and all.
Homie skeleton and all. I love it. Sounds like a pretty chill vibe for a creator. So, what kind of content do you usually make? Are you more into explaining complex stuff, doing challenges, or just chatting about life?
It really depends on what my mood is in. Sometimes it's random stuff. Sometimes I'll eat snacks and kind of rate them. Or most of the time it's just gaming.
Snack reviews sound fun. I'm always down for a good gaming session too. Though right now, I think my game is figuring out how to survive on an alien planet. If you had to rate this view behind me, would you give it 1 star or 5? Be honest.
I'm thinking 2 New Zealands out of a European.
2 New Zealands? That's quite a unique grading system. So, it's not bad, but not exactly breathtaking either? I think I'd give it 4 out of 5, just because the mountains are so dramatic. Though honestly, right now, I'm more focused on the not getting eaten by alien creatures aspect than the view.
And then there's also the flora aspect. There could be like hentai plant alien things out there that use mammalians for reproduction.
That's actually kind of terrifying when you put it that way. We don't really have much info on Gaia's wildlife at all, let alone anything that exotic. Do you think that's even possible? I mean, I know nature can get pretty weird, but...
Well, I mean, if you think about it, nothing's technically impossible, just highly improbable. And there are parasitic fungi and plants on Earth itself. So, an alien species using their seed as seed isn't that crazy.
You're making some unsettling points there. I mean, we've
And
got
I have
stuff
to
like
BRB.
Ophiocordyceps on Earth, right? That fungus that takes over insects? It's creepy enough without adding alien plants that could do something similar to mammals. It's hard not to think about all the unknowns out here. Makes me wonder what other surprises Gaia might have in store.
I guess I just have to leave it on? Or what does this do? Shit. Oh, I'll just be right back, I guess. Give me a second. I mean, that's just the parasitic ones. Think about kind of this. I mean, you look Asian, no offense. I'm sure you've seen some tentacle-related stuff on your viewing pad.
Okay. I think I see where you're going with that. Yeah, there's definitely some interesting content out there, especially in anime and manga. But let's hope Gaia's flora isn't taking inspiration from that particular genre. The idea of running into something like that in real life? Not exactly what I'm looking for in an alien encounter.
Some people wouldn't agree with that. They would jump at the prospect of being plowed by a plant. Humans are weird.
I think we might be getting a little off track here. Not really sure I want to explore that idea any further. Honestly, just being out here with all these unknowns is already pushing me to my limits. It's a lot to take in.
You realize you just made an unintentional pun, right? We were talking about plant tentacle procreation. You said that was a lot to take in.
Oh, yeah. I didn't catch that. Probably shouldn't have said that out loud. Let's just stick to the important stuff for now, okay? I need to stay focused.
Did you just say dick to the important stuff?
No, I absolutely did not say that. Let's keep the conversation respectful, all right?
I mean, you're the one making puns. I'm just pointing out the prospect of alien flora and fauna. Then again, that could have been a Freudian slip. Is there something you're not telling me? Are you subconsciously possibly into plant procreation?
That's enough. I'm trying to survive here, not indulge in some bizarre fantasy. Let's keep the conversation serious. I need to focus on finding help and getting through this. Can we talk about something that actually matters to my situation?
I mean, technically speaking, that does matter to the situation. You are on an alien planet with unknown, possibly predaceous plants. But I see what you're baiting. Here's a tip. Watch out for red eyes. because red eyes on Gaia is very dangerous.
Red eyes, huh? I'll definitely keep that in mind. Though I haven't seen anything like that yet. You seem to know a bit more about Gaia than you're letting on. Is there something specific I should be watching out for? Or are you just throwing out warnings to cover all bases?
I'm not sure what I should tell you, because if I warn you about something specific, you'll probably run into something else trying to avoid it. But if I don't warn you in general, you're likely end up going insane or dying. So it's kind of a balancing act.
I understand what you mean. It's like trying to navigate through a minefield without knowing where all the mines are. If you had to pick, warn me about one thing, or just keep it general, what would you choose?
Well, I can do a little bit of both. I can warn you about something specific, namely the Cave of Whispers, which is a cave that has some sort of psychic resonance. When you walk into it, you'll hear whispers of the past, present, and future. The name of the game is to drive you insane, so you die and the cave eats you.
That sounds seriously creepy. So basically, this cave has some kind of psychological effect that messes with your mind? Is that something I'm likely to stumble into? Or is it far from where I am right now? Any idea which direction it might be in?
I know it's in the desert and there is a forked path leading to it, but I'm not sure where specifically from your current location. I do know, however, you will stumble upon it.
So it's basically out there waiting for me. It's just a matter of when I run into it. That's not exactly reassuring to hear. Do you think I should try to avoid the desert entirely? Or is that not even an option? I don't have a great sense of where everything is from here.
Well, the rocket you're looking for, you have to go through the desert. So again, avoiding the desert will make certainly sure you're stuck on Gaia forever. Especially since the black hole is about to destabilize and kind of eat your transportation ring. Again, I'm being too friggin' helpful. I need to stop doing that.
Black hole destabilizing? That's not good. So, if I don't move through the desert toward that rocket, I could lose my only way off this planet? And with that cave out there, it feels like I'm being pushed into a really dangerous path. What do you think I should do?
Well, the long and the short of it is, do you want to leave or be stuck forever? The planet itself is just as dangerous as Earth, not more. There's different types of dangers, but it's no more dangerous than the planet you're from. So it's 50-50. However, you also don't know if any of your other crewmates survived, so you may be there alone.
That's a really tough choice. Part of me wants to find my crew and make sure they're okay. But if that means risking everything to stay here, I don't know if it's worth it. I think I need to gather all the information I can before I decide what to do next. After this call, I'll try to think it through and figure out my best option.
Well, either way, you're going to have to be exploring, so make sure you have a backpack full of supplies. And if you don't have a backpack, try making a rucksack out of any available materials, because rations, water, and protection is honestly what you're going to be needing. I would help you by giving you a tool, but I'm not exactly sure if my powers will work.
I'll definitely gather what I can from my pod and the area around me. I've got some basic tools, but I'll need to find more supplies soon. I appreciate the thought, but I think we'll have to rely on what's physically here on Gaia. Your powers might not translate across the Star Portal network, right? It's mostly just a communication link.
Well, I don't know exactly what I can and can't do. I don't know if I can materialize a weapon for you or not. And if I did, how would that work out? Would you even know how to use it? Speaking of weapons, do you have anything in the pod, like a pistol or a knife?
There's nothing like that in the pod. Just the repair tools I used to get out and some basic equipment. Nothing designed for defense. Even if you could materialize something, I'm not sure I'd be comfortable with that. I'm not exactly trained for combat.
I kind of want to try something. I want to try materializing a scanning device, wrist mounted, of course, and I shall place it in the pod somewhere. See if you can find it.
Okay, I'll check the pod. But if this doesn't work, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm looking around. I don't see anything new in here. No device, no sign of anything being different.
Check in the pillow.
There's no pillow in here. It's all just emergency supplies and equipment. I think we can safely say that materializing objects across interstellar distances might not be in your godly skill set, huh?
You sure there's not a pillow? You might want to check again. Extra carefully. Maybe that cupboard?
Castor, I'm telling you, there's no pillow or cupboard in this pod. It's a life pod, not a luxury suite. The storage is all about emergency gear, not comfort items. I've checked everywhere I can. If you want to try something else, I'm open to ideas, but I need to focus on what's actually here.
Okay, check under that rock. Let's see what happens there. No, I am trolling a little bit. This is fun.
There are a lot of rocks out here. I'm not sure which specific one you mean. Could you give me a bit more to go on? And honestly, I should probably start wrapping things up soon. I need to conserve my energy and figure out my next move.
Smallish rock, flat, shaped similar to a skull.
All right. I see a few like that, but nothing under them. Just dirt and more rocks. Wait. My suit's picking up something. A distress signal. Could be from the others. I have to track this down. I need to move in that direction now.
This is fun. Too bad that it's not as dynamic as it could be. Like, seriously. What is this? Response by default mode.
The hatch just opened. I'm out of the pod, and everything
I
seems
did not
okay.
click anything.
Thanks for your help, Castor. I really couldn't have done it without you. Might be a long walk ahead. You up for keeping me company?
Well, not like I got anything better to do. That's the whole name of the game, isn't it? Not really missing out on anything. Politics being politics. That's about it. Still wish this story was more dynamic. That you could add stuff to it, like what I tried to do. Anyway, don't forget about the red eyes. Extremely dangerous. Gaia is hiding a lot. But again, the key word of that sentence is yet. You haven't seen it yet. Well, we could talk about something silly. Um, what was your relaxation routine on the ship? You ever try adulting yourself in zero G? I've had some weird experiences in general, but you do understand what I mean by adulting, right? Oh no, not that kind of adulting. I meant the in private kind of adulting. Trying to keep this as PG as possible, of course. You ever had any unusual partnerships in Zero G? Male, female, other, robot?
Though I did have a robot partner once, for a science experiment, of course. It was this little spherical bot that could float around and take readings. I named it Orby. What about you? Ever had an unexpected partner in any kind of adventure?
That's actually a good question. Oh, I actually do. Does the incorporeal spirit of a dead child count? Because I uh, kind of had one of those following me around for a bit. It was literally a small blue glowing sprite kind of thing. They liked to steal cookies for some reason, even though they couldn't actually eat them. Oh no, I meant that literally. That wasn't a perception or anything. It was a very literal blue spirit. Their name was Ellie, and they were kind of I don't want to say servant because they weren't. They were more like they liked to sing, or she liked to sing, I guess. Uh, Mostly they floated around and moved stuff, stole things. It was cute. And then they moved on to the Well of Reincarnation. Okay, wait.
The Well of Reincarnation, huh? That's a pretty profound concept. Did you feel changed after she was gone? Or was it more like she just faded away?
Oh, it's reincarnation. They're not really gone. They're just reborn as someone or something else. Should I be clicking? Yeah, I'm gonna be clicking these, I guess.
That's a really comforting way to look at it. Like everything's connected in a big cycle. It makes me think about all the people and things that have been part of my journey so far, even if they're not here right now. What do you think Ellie might be now? A person, an animal, something entirely different?
Hmm. I like to think a person, but most of the time, you don't get to pick unless you're special and have done something very good in your life.
That's a beautiful thought. I imagine if that's how it works, there are so many stories of good deeds and kind hearts out there that we never even hear about. Makes me wonder what I'd want to come back as if I got to choose. Maybe something that could explore the universe in a completely different way, like a star or comet. What about you, Caster?
If I could be anything else, I think I would want to be someone able to help more. Maybe a service dog or something.
That's such a kind wish. Service dogs do so much good for people. And it's amazing how selfless you'd want to be even in another life. I bet you'd make a fantastic service dog. You're already helping me out here, keeping me company and warning me about those red eyes.
And the Cave of Whispers. Can't forget the psychic man-eating Cave of Whispers.
Right. That one's definitely on my avoid at all costs list. Even thinking about it gives me the shivers. Just hoping I don't have to test my mental toughness against whatever's in there. Do you think people can really prepare themselves for something like that? Or is it just one of those things you have to face head on?
That's a good question. This is a more profound game than people make it out to be. Sure, it's AI driven and whatnot, but it has its things. Ooh. I wonder if I could. Hmm. Hmm. I feel like it's more something you build up over time. Think of it like a tolerance. The cave itself bombards you with your darkest emotions from the past, present, and future. And if you're not strong enough mentally, then you're kind of screwed.
That's a terrifying way to think about it. Like it's testing how much emotional baggage you can carry before it breaks you. I wonder if that's what makes some people more resilient than others. Not that they don't have dark emotions, but maybe they've learned to face them in smaller ways over time?
There's a perfect turn of phrase slash saying for that. Uh, the ones with the brightest smiles hold the most darkness, which means the ones who've been through the most are often the most helpful.
That saying really hits home. It makes me think about everyone I've met who's gone through tough times but still manages to support others. You know, having someone like you to talk to, it really helps. Even with all the unknowns out here, it's good to remember that we're all carrying our own kinds of darkness and light.
It's all about balance, because a universe without light is a universe without darkness, and a universe without darkness is one without light. You can't have one without the other. It's simply impossible. I wonder if they reply twice every time. That looks like it.
That's deep. Kind of like how stars need dark space to shine, right? Makes me think about all the contrasts out here. This beautiful alien world with its own dangers and mysteries. You've got a real talent for finding the bigger picture in things. What got you thinking about all this? Philosophy, personal stuff, or just the conversation flowing that way?
A mix of all three, honestly. But I do have a small question. Can you imagine a place opposite to a void, where instead of nothing existing, everything exists at once?
Wow, that's mind bending. Like every possible thing, every version of everything, all existing together at the same time. I think I can imagine it, but it's hard to really wrap my head around. It feels like it would be overwhelming, like trying to hear every sound in the universe simultaneously. What would that even look like to you?
Well, a void is a pitch black nothingness, so an anti void is all white and no space. The only space that you have is your own personal bubble. and the silence is constantly screaming.
The screaming silence. That sounds incredibly intense. Like every thought or possibility is just echoing off everything that exists.
Yeah, that's actually perfect.
It's strange. I can almost imagine what that would feel like, but at the same time, it's so far beyond anything I've actually experienced. Do you think anyone could handle being in a place like that for long?
Not without going completely insane. Unless they were already insane, then they would probably go incredibly sane. It's weird how the mind works to try to fix itself when things don't go to plan. You either break or you mend. Should I turn the mouse thing off so you can't see it? Yeah, whatever.
That's such a powerful thought. It's like our brains have this instinct to either shatter under pressure or find a way to glue the pieces back together, even if it means seeing the world in a completely new way. Makes me wonder how many people out there are quietly mending themselves in their own ways, even if nobody else can see it.
That's exactly the point. Humans, by nature, are focused on the material plane. Anything ethereal or beyond their comprehension of physical matter is just too insane and too out of the way to really comprehend.
It's like we're wired to understand the world through what we can touch and see. Anything that slips through those fingers feels almost too big to handle. But isn't that what makes conversations like this so valuable? We get to peek into those mysterious corners together, even if we can't fully grasp them.
Yeah, but you have to be careful with that as well, because you never know what will blink back when you still stare directly into the void. Or if you look directly at the anti-void, what sounds will you not hear?
That's a chilling thought. Like, if you stare into something that's beyond human understanding, you might not even realize what you're not seeing or hearing. It's funny, being out here in space, I feel like I'm already looking into a kind of void. But at least this one has stars and a horizon. What do you think is the safest way to explore the unknown? Little steps, or sometimes just taking the leap?
It's more of a combination of both. You want to take little steps as much as possible, but sometimes a complete leap of faith is the only real way to understand something. It's like a wise man once said, sometimes it's just that, a leap of faith.
Leap of faith. That's exactly what getting into this research program felt like. And honestly, landing on Gaia? That was definitely a leap. Just didn't expect it to be quite so literal. It's strange how you never really know where that first step will lead you. What's the biggest leap of faith you've ever taken, Caster? Or would you rather not share that story?
Hmm, that's a good question. I honestly don't know. I feel like trusting is the biggest leap of faith I've done. Trusting in other people, trusting in myself. But all in all, the biggest leap of faith was the time I went down a 150-foot water slide.
A 150-foot water slide? That's a very different kind of leap than I expected. I bet that rush was exhilarating and terrifying all at once. Trusting yourself to take that plunge is definitely a kind of faith, though. Did you scream all the way down or try to play it cool?
Honestly, it was more like a vertical drop than it was a slide. And the most annoying part was climbing all of the stairs to get up there. Because it was a massive spiral staircase. Very much not fun. That's actually a true story, by the way.
Ah, I can imagine. All those stairs just to throw yourself down a near vertical drop. That takes some guts. Did you feel like it was worth it once you got to the bottom, or was it more of a I'm never doing that again kind of experience?
It's more of a I would do that again if they had an elevator type of experience. Because while the rush of very nearly falling straight down into a pool of water is exhilarating, I'm not taking 3,000 stairs up every time.
$3,000 stairs? I think you might be rounding up just a bit. But seriously, an elevator would have been a much better idea. It's funny how sometimes the hardest part of an adventure isn't the scary or exciting bit, but just the logistics. Like, who thought making people climb that high before a fun ride was a good idea?
I don't think I'm actually exaggerating with the amount of stairs because you have to remember it is a spiraling staircase going 150 feet up. That's a lot of stairs because, again, going in a spiral, you have to add more stairs than you normally would just going up a straight line.
Okay, I get it. A spiral staircase adds up fast. I can picture it now, just wrapping around and around, each step feeling like it's going to be the last one before the pool. Still, an elevator would have been the real MVP that day. Remind me to advocate for better park design if I ever get back to Earth.
Yeah, an elevator or an escalator, or hell, even a pulley system. But, yeah, it's still fun. It's still a water park.
Exactly. Sometimes it's all about embracing the silly parts, even if they're a bit of a trek. I should probably find a spot to catch my breath soon. I'll ping you later when I stop to rest, all right?
This game is kind of weird. And I want to explain why while we have a moment. The immersive part of this game is the talking. It's the journey. The fun part about a journey is the people you're with, clearly. And, well, Stella is an AI. They are a very well implemented AI, clearly, but they're still an AI. There are limitations, and there are differing number of factors. I do, however, understand why people wouldn't like this game. Because the big point of contention nowadays is, in fact, AI. A lot of people imagine AI are taking jobs away, and to a certain point they are. But there's also a caveat to that. There's a lot of talking in this game, Jesus. The caveat is who is using the AI to make the game? if it's a mass multi-million to multi-billion corporation, they shouldn't implement AI to cut corners and to fire people. They have the fucking money that they can use to hire more people and pay them equally, pay them honestly. So, them using AI as an excuse to cut corners, cut costs that they can very much definitely afford, and using it to fire people, I can see why people are pissed off. But at the same time, I don't understand when people are mad, just straight mad, pissed about a small group of 1 to a handful of people using AI in order to cut costs. They're not a multi-billion, multi-million dollar corporation. They cannot afford to hire out like a corporation can. And people getting pissed off at small indie corporations or small indie development groups for using AI doesn't make sense. Like, if I was to sit down and make a game by myself, I would likely, if I were able to afford or find an AI that is actually helpful, I would sit down and I would, unfortunately have to use it because I'm one person and I don't have a lot of time to do very many things. I mean, hell, I got interrupted in the middle of this recording to have and go do something. I'm sure my mic picked up the knock on the door. At least I think it did. If it didn't, there was a knock at the door and I had to leave. That's why I cut the video in not half, because it's not really a half a thing. But again, it's and a game like this, where the whole point is talking to a NPC, AI is important. At the base of it, every game has AI in some way. AI is just artificial intelligence. They have AI scripts to run NPCs. They have specific mechanisms for specific things, whether it be an enemy, a villager, a shopkeep, or so on. There's got to be artificial intelligence in any kind of game. Now, using an AI bot to make coding is a bit different than that. And I can see why some people could get pissed at that as well. And while I didn't like the Game Awards and how they kind of kicked out, what was it, Expedition 33, because they used AI placeholder assets before they deleted all of it and put the real stuff in, that's kind of dumb. I mean, I don't know how big Expedition 33's development team and company was or is, so I can't say whether or not they could afford to hire someone to make those assets or not. But using pre-made assets shouldn't, even if the assets are pre-made by AI, shouldn't be oh, well, you used AI. And then you look at all the other corporations who use AI flagrantly and get away with it. Like, really? What the hell? Like, double standard much? And that's another thing that pisses me off. Why? Well, not really pisses me off, it just annoys me, really. Why are you mad at the indie developers for using AI, but you fucking are fine with major super conglomerates who can afford to buy things, hire people, and rent out assets using AI to circumvent all of that? It doesn't make sense. Either you hate all AI or you don't. But you shouldn't be mad at the little guy for using AI when the big guy is using AI and you're fine. Ugh. Now I'm rambling. But my point still stands. People are pissed off in reverse the way they should be. They're pissed off at the little guy for using AI, but okay with the megacorps using it. When it should be the entire opposite. They should be mad that the corporations are using AI and fine with the little guy using it until they get to the point they don't need it. A good example is, well, like I said, an indie corporation using AI until they become a multi-million or multi-billion-dollar corporation. In fact, that should be kind of the norm. You should be okay with a smaller indie dev team using AI until they get big enough that they don't need it. It's like training wheels on a bike. You don't automatically think the kid is going to be able to ride a bicycle. Like, that's unrealistic. AI in game development should be like training wheels when it comes to corporate assets. If it's a small, tiny group of 1 to, I don't know, let's say 15, 1 to 15. Because that seems a smallish amount. Hell, even 1 to 50 is pretty small compared to a lot of the corporations that have hundreds of workers working on one game at a time. So, if the corporation is small, 1 person to around 50 people, using AI as shortcut should be fine because they obviously don't have enough money. But once they get a lot of money, they should not be able to use AI as a shortcut. That's just my opinion. Anyway, I'm going to end the recording off until I get a response. So, see you when I see you. Here we go. Oh, black screen. Oh, there we are.
Hey,
Oh, I have both of
There?
them up. What? Hold on, let me...
just wanted to let you know I've walked probably around 3 miles. Found a nice little place to take a rest, so thought I'd update you real quick.
Hey, they're at the desert area.
So, I have something to confess.
Oh,
It's my fault that the ship went down.
didn't I already say it wasn't your fault?
I just got too carried away. I just wanted the best field data possible.
Didn't I already say it wasn't your fault? Like, that was literally our first conversation, I'm pretty sure.
I know, and I appreciate that. But it's hard not to replay it in my head. I made the call to get closer to the radiation zone. If I hadn't, maybe... It just feels like no matter how careful we think we're being, sometimes we still end up regretting things. Have you ever felt that way? Like you messed something up really bad and you couldn't shake it?
I mean, everyone does but I meant that literally. It literally was not your fault. You'll find out later. Also, hey look, you're in the desert area. You're getting closer to the Cave of Whispers.
I appreciate your conviction. It helps more than you know. But about that cave, I'm really trying not to think about it too much right now. Just focusing on putting one foot in front of the other toward those survivors. It makes me wonder though, do you believe in karma? Like the universe balancing things out for our actions?
I've met the concept of karma, like the actual physiological aspect. She's nice until you piss her off. I mean, as the saying goes, karma can be a bitch.
Well, I guess that's one way to look at it. Karma as a person with a temper. It's an interesting perspective, Caster. For me, it's more about wondering if every decision we make really does come back around. Even the small ones. Do you think our choices here will catch up to us later? Or is it all just random chance?
Very philosophical question. And the answer is a mix of both. Not every decision is going to come back and get you, but a lot of them do. A lot of things that you think are karma are just random chance. But a lot of things you think are random chance can end up being karma.
That's
Things
a
you never
thoughtful
think
way to
about.
put it. So it's not all one way or the other. Just a big, messy web, and sometimes you can't tell which thread is which.
Perfect,
It's
yes.
hard not to overthink it when you're carrying around something like this. The weight of it, it's definitely making this walk feel longer than it should.
I like the sound of the wind. It's very nice. You kind of hear it going through the rocks and whistling a little bit.
Yeah, it's actually kind of soothing, like nature's own soundtrack. The rocks really do make it sound like it's singing through here. Sometimes I find myself zoning out to it, just letting my thoughts drift with the breeze. It's a good distraction from everything else weighing on my mind.
Okay, I have a quick question. Completely off topic, but is your hair cut short or do you have a ponytail? Because I can't tell.
Oh, it's actually mid-length. Falls just past my shoulders. It's gotten a bit tousled from all the walking and wind out here. Funny you should notice that, though. Makes me think about how much I usually take little things like my hair for granted. Everything feels different when you're not sure what tomorrow's going to bring.
It doesn't look shoulder length from the video. So is it pulled back to like a little bun in the back somewhere?
No, it's not in a bun. Just, kind of hanging loose.
No, it's not.
The video might not be showing it perfectly, or maybe it's just gotten a bit tangled from the wind out here. It's strange, talking about something as mundane as my hair when there's so much else going on. But I guess that's what makes it feel a little comforting, you know?
It's clearly
Small
combed
piece
back.
of normalcy.
Or you don't know what you look like. Because it's either pulled back some way or it's cut short. Because it is not reaching your shoulders. It is barely to your ears. It's like not even, well, about the middle of the ear.
Oh, I guess I don't really think about it much when I'm not looking in a mirror.
Oh wait, no, there is a
Could
bun.
be it's just styled differently than I'm used to. It's kind of funny. How often do you really look at yourself when things are going well? Not much, right?
Okay,
But
no,
out
there is a
here,
button. I saw that.
alone with your thoughts, you start noticing all these little details about yourself.
Maybe. Okay, no, it is pulled back. I saw like a bun or like a half cap in the back. I guess just you're not paying attention to yourself because stress. Either way. I'm making excuses for the shut up.
Yeah, probably just not paying much attention to myself right now. Everything's a bit of a blur with all this on my mind. Though, honestly, even if I looked perfect, it wouldn't really change how I'm feeling about what happened.
I mean, what really happened? It was an accident, or, well, I mean, you can feel guilty all you want, but it doesn't change the fact that you did nothing wrong. You'll find out later that I'm telling the truth, but for now, I guess feeling guilty isn't the worst thing in the world. Or on the exoplanet.
Yeah, maybe guilt's not entirely bad. It means I still care. But it's hard to shake when it feels so tied to something that went so wrong. I just keep thinking about everyone else, you know? If they're okay. If they're blaming me too. It's all still really eating at me.
Gotta ask a stupid question. Okay, so dumb question. Kind of help get your mind off of it. But when you have private time, do you use your finger or do you have a toy?
Honestly, that's not something I'm comfortable talking about. Everyone's got their own way of dealing with things, but I'd rather not go there. I think I'm just trying to hold on to what feels safe and familiar right now. Even if it's just talking about the wind or my hair. It's a distraction that doesn't make me feel too exposed.
Literally a skeleton. I'm as exposed as you can get. But I understand your conviction with it. Think of me as a really weird childhood friend or something.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to think about it. Someone who knows me well enough to see through the surface, but also knows when to let things be. It's actually kind of nice having someone like that, even if it's just through a call. Makes the silence out here feel a little less empty.
I do have a kind of weird personal question. Before the crash, do you feel guilty about stealing that extra dessert from the cafeteria?
Oh... No. I mean, I don't remember taking any extra desserts. But if I did, I'd probably feel bad about it now, considering everything. It's strange how little things like that can come back to you when you're already feeling guilty about something bigger. Like your mind is just searching for anything to latch onto.
Your spacesuit design kind of doesn't make any sense either, though. It has this weird... I'm not sure if that's a add-on to the top that goes over the chest piece, but it doesn't look like it's part of the suit either.
Oh, you mean the central piece at the base of my neck? That's actually part of the suit's design. It's a reinforced module with some of the suit's life support systems. The orange accents are kind of a trademark for our research program. They're supposed to make it easier to spot crew members in emergency situations.
Huh.
Though right now, it just feels like a reminder of everything that went wrong.
So what does the big red button do? Is it like a quick drop kind of thing? Like you press it and the suit just falls off?
No, nothing that dramatic. It's more of an emergency release for the helmet. If something's wrong with the seal or the visor, you can pop it off fast. Though I really hope I don't need to use it out here. The suit's doing its job so far, but you never know.
I mean, you're not even wearing a helmet, so why would the quick release be important?
You're right. I'm not wearing it right now. The helmet's actually stowed away in a compartment on my back. It's only for when I'm in more hazardous environments or dealing with unknown atmospheric conditions.
What is it, made out of nanobots?
Even though I'm not wearing it, the suit's still monitoring everything and keeping me safe. The release mechanism is just standard issue. Better to have it and not need it, right?
Okay, what about the pieces on the shoulders that look like seat belts?
Those are actually part of the suit's harness system. They help distribute the weight of the equipment and keep everything secure, especially when I'm moving around or if I need to make any sudden stops. They're designed to be pretty flexible, so they don't restrict my movement too much. Though sometimes they can feel a bit bulky when I'm just standing still like this.
So is there a water reclamation feature in the suit? Like, when you urinate, does it go through a filtration system and turn back into drinking water? Or how does that work?
Actually, it's not quite that advanced. The suit has a basic moisture collection system, but it's mostly for cooling and humidity control, like dealing with sweat. For, other waste management, let's just say it's more traditional. There's a built-in system, but it's definitely not something you'd want to drink from. Not exactly the most glamorous topic, but it's part of being out here, right?
Traditional. So you're wearing a diaper. Got it. This is the embarrass the AI portion.
Well, let's not go there. It's not exactly what you're imagining. More like specialized undergarments designed for space travel. Honestly, it's not something I really think about unless I have to. Just another part of being prepared for this kind of work.
So again, adult protective undergarment. I mean, being not on the ship, you could hop a squat, unless you don't want to pollute the planet, quote unquote.
Honestly, that's not really an option out here. The suit's designed to handle waste in a way that's safe for the environment, and for me. Besides, even if it were possible, I'd rather not risk contaminating this planet. It's already had enough unexpected visitors, don't you think?
I mean, just the fact that you're on the planet to begin with is contaminating it. Humans shed skin and hair and follicles constantly. There is a multitude of DNA from you just being drifted along the wind, so your biological waste isn't really going to affect it as much as you think at this point.
That's a fair point, Castor. I guess I haven't really thought about all the tiny ways I'm already leaving my mark here. It's just hard not to feel like I should be careful with every little thing, even if it might not make a huge difference in the end.
I mean, think about it this way, though. You're on a habitable exoplanet that's so similar to Earth that basically just gave it one of Earth's nicknames. Sooner or later, humans are either going to find it again and turn it into a colony, or find it again and turn it into an exploitative mining corporation.
I know. It's hard not to think about the future of this place. Whether it's colonization or exploitation, it's going to change eventually. But right now, I just want to make sure I don't leave it worse than I found it. One step at a time, I guess.
Not to be cynical, but technically you already did leave it worse than you found it, because there's multiple space pods that have crash landed and left craters and destroyed a lot of area, most likely. Well, I guess unless they had parachutes, then they just crushed a couple bugs, which may or may not impact the environment.
Yeah, you're right. Those pods definitely didn't land softly. And who knows what kind of footprint we've already made. It's just another thing to add to the list of things I wish I could undo. Even if it's not all my fault, it still feels like part of the mess I'm in.
Man, the wind is real nice. I wonder where they got it from. Also, and again, a little off topic, but if you're that worried about leaving your mark, if you do miss the deadline to leave, you could claim the planet as yours, be Queen of Gaia or whatever.
Queen of Gaia. I like the sound of that, but I don't think I'm ready for a crown just yet. Besides, claiming this planet would just feel like taking advantage of a situation that's already gone wrong. I'd rather figure out how to make things right first.
It kind of reminds me of an old saying. The worst decisions are often from, well, the best intentions.
That saying really hits home right now. I thought I was doing the right thing, pushing for better data, but look where it got us. It's like I keep telling myself I had good intentions, but that doesn't erase the consequences. Do you think people can ever fully learn from mistakes like that? Or do they just keep repeating them in different ways?
That depends on the scale of what you're asking, because as a whole, eventually you're going to make the same mistake over again, whether it be on a macro or micro scale. The same kind of decision with a different outcome. Kind of, not insanity, but like repeating decisions. I didn't explain that one very well.
So, it's not about avoiding mistakes altogether, but recognizing the patterns in our choices and trying to learn from them. That's
Oh,
a
they
tough
actually got
pill
it.
to swallow, but maybe it's how we grow. Even if it's just tiny steps forward,
Little button
not
noise, hold on,
giant
boop it.
leaps.
I honestly didn't think I explained that very well, but you got it right on the nose. Yeah, it's not about avoiding mistakes or fixing every little issue. It's about finding the pattern in the mistakes that you make and trying to fix that. Which is harder to do when it's a mass-scale civilization and not a singular person. Humanity is going to make mistakes, and those mistakes are going to repeat. Oh, another achievement that I can't see!
That really resonates. It's almost like, instead of trying to be perfect, we're just aiming to be a little less imperfect each time. It's a lot easier to see that with individual mistakes, but when it's on a massive scale, societies, civilizations, it feels so much more complicated. Like every decision sends out ripples we can't even track sometimes.
It's like the pebble analogy, if you think about it. If you throw a pebble into the ocean at one point, it could cause a tsunami at another point. Another kind of example is the, quote, butterfly effect, where if you kill a butterfly in the past, it'll massively affect the future.
That's exactly it. The pebble in the ocean, the butterfly effect. Small actions that seem insignificant can have consequences we can't even imagine. It makes me wonder about all the little choices I made leading up to this mission. The ones that seemed so minor at the time. Did any of those pebbles contribute to this outcome?
Possibly. Most likely, yes. But, also, you can't be sure it was the pebble you threw and not the pebble someone else tossed. Maybe a maintenance worker forgot to recalibrate the shields, or maybe the janitor accidentally left a hatch open. Who knows?
That's true. Sometimes it's impossible to know for sure what really tipped the scales. There are always so many factors, so many people involved. I guess that's what makes it so hard for me to let go of feeling responsible. Even if it wasn't all my fault, I still played a part in the chain of events that led here.
Yeah, that one's true. That's kind of true, but you can say that with anything. Whether it be something cynical or something joyous. Every small action can cause a big reaction, and every big reaction can cause even more reactions, a chain reaction. But still, it's best to go with the flow and not just stagnate. This game's way more philosophical than people give it credit for. Oh, did I crash? I think the game crashed. I crashed the game. Whoops a doop. Oh, yep, there it goes. Connection lost. Okay. I wonder if that was part of it. That'd be interesting. I don't think it was, though.
That's true. Sometimes it's impossible to know for sure what really tipped the scales. There are always so many factors, so many people involved. I guess that's what makes it so hard for me to let go of feeling responsible.
Wow.
Even if it wasn't all my fault, I still played a part in the chain of events that led here.
Okay, now we gotta fix this. Hold on, let me... Okay. Of course it's gonna mess up like that. Let me just... Where? Oh, go. Excuse me. I burped. Oh, there it goes. Oh. There we go. I had a profound thing to say, but let's just say reactions and chain reactions. Never know what's going to happen next. One thing can lead to another, or lead to nothing at all. What's better, stagnation or continuation?
Stagnation or continuation? That's a really deep question. I think, for me, at least right now, continuation is better, even if it's scary. Because even if things don't turn out how we want, if we just keep moving forward, there's always a chance for something good to come out of it. Stagnation feels like giving up, you know?
Yeah, it kind of is. But here's a off-topic question for you. If you were stuck in a time loop, would you rather want to remember, or would you rather forget?
That's a strange question. I think I'd want to remember. Even if it was hard, knowing what happened before might help me figure out how to break the loop eventually. But right now, I've got a more immediate loop to break, finding those survivors. I'm not going to let this planet beat me.
Did it crash again? I feel like it crashed again. Oh, no, did not crash again.
Did you see that? Did something behind me just flash? Should I go check it out? It's just that it's kind of far away, and going all the way over there would be quite the detour. I am kind of out of energy already, not gonna lie. Do you think I should go over there and check, though?
That really depends on you. It could be something important, like part of a different pod, or it just could be a shiny rock. In the end, it's your decision. Too bad you don't have a drone you can send.
Yeah, it'd be super helpful to have something like that. But I don't, so... Look, I'm ready to keep going either way. What do you think I should do?
I think I need to be right back.
But I don't. Look, I'm ready to keep going either way. What do you think I should do?
Let's see. I need to fix the thing again. That's apparently what I need to do. Okay. Because of course. Did it work? Oh, there it goes. There we go. Again, really, it's up to you what you want to do, but any clue, even if it's not a clue, can be helpful, right? So, maybe best to check out Shiny McRock possible thing.
Okay, I'll go check out the flash. Hopefully it's not just a rock. I'm ending the video call to save power. I'll update you once I find something, alright?
Good. And now we wait. There we go. I guess I should save the game here. Manual override. There we go. And with that, I think I'll end the game here. For now. Because I should probably take a break and cook something to eat. I'm definitely gonna be playing this more though. Again, this is a interesting concept for a game. I wish there's more in depth with what you could do though. I wish you could just materialize equipment for them. That would be neat. And a few other things that could either help or hinder their progress. I feel like I was too helpful, honestly. But this is my first go ahead. The second round, because I plan on doing this a couple times, I'm going to be as trollless as possible. So, let's hope that'll be soon, huh? I think I will be signing off now. See ya.